Welcome back everyone, my name is Echo, hope you're having a great day. In today's Minecraft video, we have a brand new beta / preview for Minecraft Pocket Edition, the Bedrock version. This is the preview version 1.18.30.21. If you're in beta, it will be version 1.18.30.20. There is no difference. The preview is just +1. And this beta / preview is now available for Minecraft on iOS, Android, Windows 10, and Xbox. Still no news on Nintendo Switch or PlayStation. Sorry. It's actually a very good week for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Not only do we have preparation for the Warden, which is what they said in the official changelog, but we also have some big changes once again to the combat system for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. I spent a couple of hours understanding these changes so I can relay the information to all of you. There is a lot of changes in today's video, and the ones on the signs behind me, those are all parity changes or combat changes. Like I said, it's a pretty big week for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Starting off with experimental features, we have the Deep Dark, implemented Shrieker tweaks in preparation for the Warden, which will be added at a later date. So this was actually available on Bedrock before it was available on Java. I can actually see the texture in my hand freaking out a little bit here. But the change here is you can now activate this more than once in your world, and obviously this is going to notify the Warden. You can see that we do have this darkness effect, which is like a pulsing effect. Still not fully implemented on the Bedrock version, but they've tweaked it slightly in preparation for the Warden. The next change, Skulk Shrieker now listens to Skulk sensor tendril clicking. So this now notifies this. Let me show you. So I learned that the tendril is like the hairs on this block. So you see that these things that are waving, they're kind of like hairs, and they will notify this. So if I put this here and we jump, come on, this will now relay the information to this, and then it signals the Warden. For those who've watched any Java snapshots recently, you probably see this happening quite a lot. Now, for the Warden to spawn, we know that this needs to happen 3 times. So that would be the second time, and then we'd do it again while we click it. It's just going to keep notifying the Shrieker that we're in this area, and then the Warden gets angry. And as you can see, that it looks like an air freshener. I'm just going to say it. It just reminds me of that. So yeah, now this will notify this. The threat level, which will cause the Warden to spawn in the future, now decreases over time. So I really can't show this because the Warden isn't implemented, but I do got something I want to show you. Shout out to ModBay on Twitter. They recently did a tweet which confirms that the Warden is hidden in the 1.18.30.20 beta files. So the Warden is there. It looks like the developers just couldn't get it ready for this week's beta. Possibly next week, but it is coming very, very soon. Okay, getting into the non-experimental features and bug fixes. Starting off with stability and performance. Everybody's favorite, fixed several crashes that could occur during gameplay. So that's the case of just playing Minecraft. Your game crashes and you're like, wait, what? Why? Yeah, they're the fixes that's referring to. Good news for Android players. Fixed possible crashes on Android when suspending or resuming the app. So that's a case of going to a different app, going back to Minecraft, and your game would completely freeze and crash. That should happen less often now. So if you're on Android and you're having that, go and test it. Go and try it out. Gameplay changes. Vertical field of view is no longer halved in horizontal split screen, making items such as book and quill easier to view when playing in split screen. So yeah, it just... Cow, will you go away? Basically, it just makes field of view better if you like to play on split screen. If you're a split screen player with your brother or your sister or your friends, go and try a book and quill. It should now be so much easier to use. Tweaked surrounding terrain for structures such as villages during world generation. And we've got a bug report. Village structures don't properly adapt to terrain. So this is to do with how they generate in your world, them not looking correct. These first two don't really show a good example, but we do have a couple of good examples in here. So for example, we've just got like a big platform that's generated here. It's not really, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It just doesn't fit very well. There is a couple more. Again, the village doesn't adapt very well. I feel like this is going to be a very hard one for them to nail down. But I want to show you a comparison in today's video. But yeah, so things like this are still happening this week in the very seed that I am using. Let me show you. So I was like, oh yeah, so they fixed it. And then I was doing a little bit of traveling and I noticed that this house with this generated over one of these. So it's not been fixed perfectly. And actually, when I first joined this world, this was like this. So this poor guy couldn't access this. And trust me, there's a good village change this week. And there's a couple more. Again, the terrain has still not been fixed greatly. I imagine there might be more tweaks with this in the future. But honestly, I mean, I kind of like the villages looking like this, suspended over one another. But apparently they tweaked it. I'm not noticing many differences. TNT no longer disappears. When ignited with the TNT explodes game rule disabled and the fire spreads game rule enabled. And we do have a bug report. It just says TNTs disappear when they are shot with a flaming arrow or trident and TNT explodes is off. Gravity affected blocks now fall on top snow when placed above it instead of hovering over it. And we do have a bug report. Sand floats above snow layer. I think we've all noticed this. See it happening in these pictures right here. This person also reported carpets doing the same mechanic. However, I believe that this is not a bug and is working as intended. It's the same way it is on Java Edition. Same way it used to be on Console Edition. However, the snow layer one does seem to be an issue. And I can show you it this week as well. So we've got a full block of top snow. If we now do this, grab ourselves this, and place this here and break this, as you can see, it falls on top of a full top snow block, and then this will actually break off. So I'm confused here. Is this not meant to sit here perfectly? Is it meant to break off? So that's confusing to me. I don't know if that was meant to happen. However, if you break this, it now falls on top of this, and the actual layer is disappeared, which again apparently is working as intended. However, I always thought that it was meant to float above it. Always thought it was meant to do it. I don't know though. That's been changed. We have a lot of Java parity features. These are known as vanilla parity, so please listen carefully to these. Players flying in creative mode are no longer pushed by liquid current, and we do have a bug report. Flowing water and lava pushes the player even if you're in flying mode, obviously in creative. Was reported back 2 years ago, 22nd of June 2020. It's been available in many betas and full releases. We have a video here. This person's in creative. Even if they're in fly mode, they are still pushed by the current. That has been changed. And let me show you. So we've got a bucket of water over here. We're just going to place it down so it doesn't ruin anything. So I'm in fly mode right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the middle. Right, we'll go to about here. Okay, we are no longer going to get pushed by the current. We're going to go to about here. So I'm still classed as in fly mode right now. And obviously, if I drop down, it pushes me. But if I'm in fly mode and we go down, it's no longer going to push me. I think this is more of just an annoyance. So it's good to see that that has been changed. One of my favorite changes this week: farmer villages can now use bone meal on crops and can turn excess seeds into bone meal at their composter. And we do have a bug report. Again, it's classed as a Java parity. Farmer villages do not pick up, use, or create bone meal. Again, reported back in 2020 in all of these versions. Let me show you the change that they have made here. We've got our good friend, the villager. I set up a little bit of a farm over here. So what I'm going to do is get all of these seeds, which is 9 stacks, which is way more than we need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw all of this on the floor, including all the seeds. And what he would now do is he will pick up both the seeds and the actual bone meal. And as you can see, he's going to start using the composter himself. You can see he just used the bone meal on this crop. Now, that bone meal will stay there, and he'll just go back and forth and use it. Let's see if he does. Yeah, there you go. He's bone mealing it. So, a good change. Again, it's about time Bedrock Edition started catching up to Java Edition. There you go. He's bone mealing it. He'll also put it back in here as well. Let's get some more bone meal real quick. Let's throw some bone meal at him. We'll throw this over you. Here you go. We'll grab some seeds. We'll throw some seeds at him as well. I know you like those seeds. I hope he's using the composter, but he'll use this. So, yeah, it's good to see that they're actually finally doing the village parity changes to Bedrock Edition. It's good to see. So your farmer villagers actually feel like they are farming. And that's why I was getting this guy out before. Because he will also use this as well. Take the bone meal and then use it on the crops. That makes sense as to why they did the change the other week with villagers to do with farming, I think it was related to, and how much seeds they could hold in their inventory. That's the change I'm referring to. So good change in my opinion. Very important change to listen to. Protection enchantment now properly works on most damage types. We do have a bug report. Protection enchantment doesn't provide extra defense against magic attacks. I actually learned something new in regards to this beta. This has been an issue since 2019. Now it says here, summary, protection enchantment does not apply its defense boost on most magic-based attacks that bypass the normal armor damage reduction. Now, for Bedrock Edition, insta damage, poison, wither, fatal, and dragon's breath will not do any form of magic protection. However, if you're using protection, you are now protected more than ever against Evoker's Fangs, Ender Pearls, and suffocation in water. It might sound confusing. Let me show you. I need to be in survival for this, so we are going to suffocate ourselves here. And you will notice that when I'm suffocating myself in water, my hearts will go down pretty fast. If I remember correctly, it's going to be, I'm going to lose one full heart at a time. Then I'm going to show you how much protection actually protects you. So there you go. 1, 2, 3. You get the idea. Well, see what happens when we do with this, okay? So I'm going to put on, they're all protection level 4. I never knew this. Again, I had to learn this myself. Whenever I go in the water now, even though I'm suffocating, I think for the first couple of hits that I take, I'm not going to lose any hearts at all. Because apparently protection is meant to give you some kind of magic protection. So watch this. Let's suffocate ourselves. And this is something I never learned. There's also a change to the fangs and also the ender pearls as well, which I will show you those changes as well. We're just going to do this in real time here. So watch what happens now when I'm out of breath. Look at my hearts. Ready? Didn't take damage. Did take damage. Did take damage, but I took... Again, you can see we're like skipping it every so often, even though I'm suffocating. So I skipped one there. I skip one there. Full. See again. Come on. Skipped there. So I never knew this. Apparently, this is a Java parity feature. A really, really good change this week, in my opinion. So according to the bug report, the protection enchantment is meant to protect you against certain types, such as suffocating. Let me show you the difference with ender pearls. Ender pearl, throw it. I take 2.5 hearts of damage. Let's put this on now and obviously wait. We have the same armor on. I throw an ender pearl over there. We take 1 heart of damage. We throw it again. We take 1 heart of damage. We throw it again. We took half a heart of damage. We took 1 heart of damage there. So again, these things were not counted or taken into consideration previously for the Bedrock version. But again, there's a few more changes to combat and mechanics like this. Fixed a desync issue that could sometimes cause health to regenerate only visually. Landing on a stalagmite is now properly considered full damage. We do got a bug report. Stalagmites apply physical damage instead of falling damage. Now, there's quite a bit of information regarding this, but let me show you some differences. So we're at 95 blocks up. I'm gonna go to game mode survival. You guys are gonna see there that I took 2 full hearts of damage. We're going to do the exact same at the same level, but on one of these. Look how much difference there is this week. Same height, which is 95. Take damage. Check that out, man. So, damage has been changed. Again, I'm not into the techie stuff, but this is what it says. Guess falling on these now is going to be a lot more deadly than it was previously. The next change fixed some issues in where damage invulnerability wasn't properly being applied. Fixed an issue where the protection enchantments mitigated too much damage. This has been changed to match Java Edition. We got a bug report. It says level 4 protection enchantments are more powerful than they should be. There is a lot of information, too much for me to cover just directly in this video. Feel free to go and check out the bug report. It explains a lot of detail. Even the Mojang moderators got involved to try and understand this. However, the whole protection enchantment should be better matched to Java Edition, which is a little bit interesting because we know the combat is completely different. However, protection was much more powerful on Bedrock Edition compared to Java Edition, which I believe should be the opposite way round since Java has the combat system and Bedrock doesn't. But again, more combat changes. Absorption hearts no longer stay yellow while under the wither effect. We got a bug report. Here it is. It's pretty simple. When you are withered on Bedrock Edition, the top hearts don't change color. They are also meant to be black hearts on top. And I can show you in game. Simply get yourself an enchanted apple and eat this. And then we do /effect at P and we do wither. As you can see, now the top hearts are also black instead of being yellow. Basic change, but I kind of like it. A very interesting one. They have added armor toughness. Diamond armor and netherite armor now have a toughness value of 2 and 3 respectively. Let me go to the wiki page to explain this, because I had to learn about toughness as well. Here is the wiki page. It says armor toughness. In Java and Bedrock Edition, in the up-and-coming beta/preview, which is this one, armor can further protect the player through a second attribute, which is armor_toughness. Normally, armor nullifies a lesser portion of damage from attacks that deal greater damage. Armor toughness resists this effect, mitigating the power of strong attacks by default. Only diamond and netherite armor provide toughness, with each piece granting +2 toughness for diamond and +3 for netherite. So you don't gain any toughness with the likes of your turtle shell helmet, leather, gold, chain, or iron armor, any of them. But when you get to diamond, you get this so-called toughness, which is 2 for your hat, 2 for your chest plate, 2 for your leggings, and 2 for your boots. With diamond and netherite is 3 helmet, 3 chest plate, 3 leggings, and 3 boots. So a new attribute introduced to Bedrock, and it's called armor toughness. Tweaked armor reduction calculation to account for toughness. So a lot of changes here to armor and combat and the mechanics. It is very good to see. Netherite armor will now reduce more damage than diamond armor. They have lowered the amount of knockback resistance granted by netherite armor. We do have a bug report. Netherite armor knockback resistance is way too much. So we've got a couple of videos here. You are about to see how much knockback this is going to do versus an iron golem. And we will do this in game as well. So he hits the iron golem. You can see here. I'm not sure that's very little. I think it is very little. We got another video. Let's go back. Scroll down. We've got a better one here. Iron golem punches. This is the Bedrock version. So we're full netherite armor here. You're going to see that it doesn't do too much damage at all. Yeah, okay. It does no damage at all. So I think that first one was on Java Edition. Now, the Bedrock version should be knocked back like in this video. The only way I can show you is by getting myself full netherite armor / summon iron golem, which we've done. We are full netherite and we hit it. Look how much you can see the knockback is now taken into consideration. Previously, this was not taken into consideration on the Bedrock, and the knockback resistance was way too high. And in terms of combat changes, the last one we have here is punching deals less damage now to better match the Java Edition. We got a bug report. Player's fist still deals 2 damage, even though mobs can now store partial damage. There's a lot of information about this here, but let's go and check it out in game. Okay, so this should take 22 hits to kill because the player has been nerfed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. 22 hits to now kill a zombie. We did a lot of experimenting with this on live stream, and they have officially nerfed players hitting. If you're in normal version, go and spawn a zombie, punch it, and let me know in the comment section how many punches it takes. Like I mentioned, we've had a lot of changes to combat, to the armors, to damage values this week, all to match with Java Edition's combat. I apologize if I didn't explain it in great detail. There was a lot to understand, and a lot of it was even new to me. Let's move on to the graphical changes. Fixed a bug in the glow squid's texture where the glow map in the alpha channel was incorrect, causing patches of non-glowing texture to be seen. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't notice the difference here, but it just said the glow squid is not fully glowy. So apparently texture change. Fixed the crosshair disappearing when outline selection for blocks is disabled. So that's to do with people who I think are very crazy, who like to use the, outline selection off. I don't know how people play like this. I think it's pretty crazy. Basically, when they had it off, their crosshair would disappear. Players that are on fire now render fire in front of the player on the inventory screen, regardless of in-game camera perspective. So here is the bug report. Basically, right, it says first person / third person back. You wouldn't see the flames in front of you. They were kind of like behind you. You've got the flames that you can visually see here. Can't see it there, can see it there. And this is to do with being on fire, right? Let's say we're in first person and we go inside of here. You can see we're on fire there. If we change the perspective behind, we're still on fire there. If we change the perspective to in front, we're still on fire there. One of these, which I think was maybe in front or behind, you would not see the flames. Fixed a highlight effect on leather armor appearing on paper dolls, and that's to do with your character up here. Leather armor does not render properly on paper doll when using higher anti-aliasing, so apparently it was just slightly bugged. You can see here it's kind of got like an extra outline, which I kind of like it. I feel like a slime, but this week they've fixed it. Item changes. Bucket of tropical fish no longer displays the incorrect name after catching a fish. Marketplace changes. The skin equipped warning prompt once again appears when equipping a skin from a product page. Mobs. The Ravager now targets and attacks the wandering trader. So apparently last time, these guys would not chase them. Go get him. But he still drinks his potion when the Ravager is there. When he drinks his potion, the Ravager can't see him, can't attack him. Mobs spawned from a dispenser are now persistent. Shulkers no longer like to occupy the same block as another shulker. Bug report, duplicated shulkers at N cities, been around for quite some time. This specific user had this problem when converting a well from 360 to Bedrock Edition. Shulkers now prioritize attaching to neighboring block faces before trying to teleport away. Shulkers now stay attached to the current attached block face if it is valid, instead of switching to the upright position. User interface fixed text in certain languages not being correctly rendered in the new Create New World screen. Changes with villages. Cartographers now always unlock Woodland Explorer map trade. So forget the bug report for this one. This guy was not displaying the Woodland Explorer map. Every single map would be an Ocean Explorer map. So if you've been having those problems, it's been fixed. Changes with commands. Current error output is now displayed when attempting to use the /loot spawn command, passing in the position of an unloaded area, and there is 0 loot to drop. Added /loot command, insert loot and insert kill overload. Title commands fired before a client was done joining will now show instead of being ignored. And we have technical changes. Let's read the changelog. If you're interested in the technical side, the links are down below. Changes to game test framework, general graphics. This is an interesting one. Testing Render Dragon on all Android and iOS devices. The Render Dragon is meant to be a better system for the Bedrock Edition players. So let me know if you're in beta or if you're in preview, if this week's beta is a lot smoother than previously. And that is everything I have for you in today's video. Basically, the recap is they are preparing the Deep Dark blocks and the Warden for Bedrock very, very soon. But more importantly, a lot of Java parity / combat changes. I hope I've done a good job of explaining to you. Apologies if I haven't. These videos take quite some time to set up. More importantly, let me know in the comment section if you made it this far. Not very many people do. Have a great day. See you next time.